Good morning. My name's Kerry and I live in the UK. This is my first pre-recorded video, so please bear with me. Today I've got a rough idea of what we're going to be doing. I'm planning on making a card using the Level Complete stamp set. I'll show you this in the catalogue. It's on page 93, and this is I got this one because my daughter is really into gaming, especially using controllers like this, and a lot of her friends are the same. So to have this set is a really good one for birthdays, and you know, I was thinking also with the achievement unlocked, it could be for passing exams or anything like that. So yeah, that's why I got this set. I love this card, and I definitely will be casing this card because it's very simple but really effective for the gamers in your life. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. Now, the Level Complete stamp set doesn't have any dies, but to be honest, I don't think you need it because everything's very sort of, you know, easy to fussy cut. What I'm going to do first, I'm just going to get my trimmer and I'm going to make our card base. So our card base is just going to be smoky slate. This is an A4 piece of card and I'm going to cut that at 14.9. So that's just cut in half. And I'm then going to score that in half on the long side at, if I can see, 10.5. So that's our base. And let's get this lined up. I'm just going to use my bone folder to give that a good crease. Next, I want to cut a parakeet party layer. I forgot to mention, these are the colours I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using Smoky Slate ink and Parakeet Party ink, and just some then basic white and basic black cardstock as well. So I'm going to make a layer, and I'm going to make that, what am I going to do that at? 13.9 by 9.5. So that will give us a nice little grey border with Parakeet Party. So that's that layer. Then I'm going to do the top layer that we're going to be doing some stamping and blending on, and I'm going to do that one at 13.4 by 9. And then I want another layer on the inside, and I think I want that one at 13.9 by 9.5. Right, so those are all of our layers. So we've got our base card, we've got our Parakeet Party layer, and then we've got our white layer there, and then I've got a layer for the inside. So I'm going to leave the inside layer there, those two layers here. Now, the next stamp I'm going to use is the controller. I'm going to stamp this all over this card first. So we're going to get some Memento Black. And I'm going to turn it over because I find it easier to stamp looking at it if it's a bigger stamp than the other way around. I want this first one to be sort of all, to see it all here, and then for the rest I just want to make as the background, so I don't mind if they're not all on the page. And we'll do a couple just to go off the edge to make it look continuous, and one more in the corner. Just get the edge of that there, and then while I'm stamping this, I'm going to stamp on the inside of my card as well, and just give that so that it's a bit continuous on the inside. Alright, so that's the inside, this is the outside. My plan is to mask, so it's a bit of a masking technique. This is Stampin' Up's masking paper. It's basically paper with a sticky back that you can release. So you get 12 sheets in here, and they last forever, so they're really good to have. I'm going to stamp our controller, gaming controller, yeah. One more time. Doesn't have to be great, just is for us to cut out. So I'm just going to give that stamp a quick clean, and now we're going to fussy cut this out. So with fussy cutting, normally I would leave a gap around the outside. It just makes my fussy cutting look a little bit neater, but for the masking technique you don't want a halo around the outside when you're blending a background, so you cut right on the line of the image. So that's what I'm going to do. The tip whilst fussy cutting is to move the paper rather than moving your scissors. Gives you a little bit more of an accurate cut. Not that I'm a professional in any way, shape or form, but that's what I find helps me. Now this masking paper, it's almost like a post-it note, but it's sticky all over rather than just one strip. And I've found with Stampin' Up's masking paper it can be quite sticky, so what I suggest is once you have cut out your image, you've removed the release paper from the back, is to just stick it on your clothes or get a bit of lint on it, your jumper or your jeans or something like that, so that it doesn't stay too sticky and then may rip your paper, because you don't want to do that once you've done your project. So it has the release paper on the back, which hopefully, oh, there we go. So then you can see that that's sticky. So all I'm going to do is put that on my jumper a couple of times just to make sure that it doesn't stick too much. It's still really sticky, but it's just not going to rip your card when you've finished. I'm going to line this up with our image. There we go. So that's all lined up. And that just means that I can blend now, and when I release that, this will still be white. Like I said, the colours I'm going to use are Parakeet Party and Smoky Slate. So I'm going to use Parakeet Party first. And grab a blending brush. And I find with blending, I get a good amount of ink onto my blending brush, but I hold it at the end, so that, because I know I'm heavy-handed and I don't want to put too much down too quickly, because I want to add it and as I go rather than too much too soon. So you just go in lightly with the Parakeet Party. I was going to use Lemon Lime Twist, but I haven't used that colour yet, I don't think, for anything, so I'm not as familiar with it, so I thought I'd use a colour that I do know, being the Parakeet Party. And you do want to get good colour around the masked controller, because when we remove it and we reveal the white beneath, it will pop, and that's the idea. So I think my plan is to have some Parakeet Party at the top, have a small white gap, and then have some smoky slate at the bottom. So I might add some more Parakeet in a moment, but for now I'll leave it as is. And I'm using smoky slate with a different blending brush. I'll get some more on there, and I just use it off the edge, and I go really lightly because I can add more, but I can't take it away, and I don't want to ruin my project once I'm this far in. And you can see it building, and don't worry if it's patchy, it sort of seems to blend itself out. Once it's dried, it sort of, the patchiness seems to go a little bit, and it smooths out. So just keep building it. It looks like nothing initially, so if you just keep going over and over, eventually you'll start to see the colour, especially with lighter colours. So I'm trying to leave a little white gap in between Parakeet Party and the smoky slate, but I do want to make sure that there is a lot around this image so that it pops. I'm going to bring it in now from this side, because you see I'm starting here and it's getting quite dark there, so I'm going to spin it round and start from over here. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think I'm alright with the smoky slate. I might go in with a little bit more of the Parakeet Party, just around our masked image, to make sure that looks good when we've done that. Yeah, I think that's alright. I'm just going to close my inks up because I know what I'm like. And now we can remove our masked paper. And if you just still take your time, even though you know you've got some lint on there and it's not as sticky, just peel it back really gently so that it doesn't rip your paper. And there's your masked image. Now you can put the release sheet back on this and use this again, because you've not massively inked it, and if you wanted to use it again, you could use it again. You can just pop that inside your stamp case for another time when you need to mask. So there you go. What am I going to do next? I think what I'm going to do next, I want to colour in the buttons. So I have some Stampin' Blends here to the side. You can use your Stampin' Blends or your Stampin' Right markers. It just so happens that I've got these ones here. So I'm going to go in with our yellow. No, I don't want the brush end. I want the bullet tip, so that I can... It's only a tiny little detail, but I think it looks quite nice. So that's this is Dark Daffodil Delight, And then we've got dark shaded spruce. And the colour I actually used was dark melon mambo because my poppy parade has dried up and I need to order some more, so this colour seemed to do the job. And then for the blue I used dark blueberry bushel. That's that one done. And that's that one done. Right, so the next bit that we want to do is, I think I'm going to leave the inside like this and plain, because the sentiments I think I'm using on the outside will say it all, and it gives us enough space to jot down what we want to. So I'm going to put that on the inside first. Okay, so this goes on the inside, just make it even borders all the way around, and that's our inside piece. Now our outside, I'm going to use our Parakeet Party layer and layer our blended background onto there. Again, trying to get an even border all the way around, and then we can add this to the front. I like this card because it can be for girl or boy. Colour wise it's not obvious for one or the other. Right, so now we just need to do a sentiment. I'm going to use what am I going to use? I'm going to use some Parakeet Party and Memento first. So I'm going to use the straight edge, yeah, that's straight, just to help me. Just going to check it. Yeah, I need to make sure that that's definitely got ink all over it. Yep, that looks good. Yeah, so I'm going to use the grid paper here just to help me get it straighter. That doesn't look too bad. And then I'll trim that down. Okay, so we've got leveled up on Parakeet Party, and then I'm going to use some black cardstock, straight again hopefully, and just a bit of scrap paper, and I'm going to emboss in white to say happy birthday. So I'm just going to use the embossing buddy so that helps us get all the static and oils off the paper, so that the powder hopefully won't stick where we don't want it to. And some Versamark, which is just a clear it's just a clear sticky ink that will help the powder stick to where we stamp our sentiment. Yeah, that looks all right. And let's see, grab some white embossing powder, and knock off the excess. Not sure how straight that is. Shall I do another? Probably. Let's go again and see. May as well do two and get one that we're happy with. And we'll see how that goes. You can see that the powder just sticks to where we've stamped. If you're not happy with if there's excess powder, you can use a brush, or you can use, I use the putty end sometimes to just help drag it away. Okay, so that will do. And then I'm just going to pour this away. And put that away with that. Okay. So now I'm going to heat emboss. So it'll be a bit loud for a moment, but it won't take too long. And you can see it's ready when it's turned shiny, and it doesn't take long at all. So, alright, so now this one, let's see if we can cut this straight, because I don't think either of those are stamped straight, but isn't that part of the fun? Let's see. Right, so I think we might do something like that, possibly. So I'm going to cut this end, and we will I might cut a little bit more off the end, just because I want them staggered. I don't want them the same length. So I've made this a little bit longer at the bottom so that I can stick it to here, and we'll level these together. Yeah, I think that will do. That will be okay. So what I might do here is just grab a bit of tape, or tear and tape, or anything, just so that I get them where I want them. So do I want it? Yeah, just for a moment to keep it where I want it. And then we can use some Stampin' Dimensionals to keep those two together and to pop them up in the front. So then I'm gonna, let's see if I'm happy with this at the moment. I'm not. Let's lift this up for a second, just because I want to make sure that I'm happy with everywhere being level. And then I'm going to line this up with the edge of our layered piece, and there we go. We've got a gamer's card, leveled up, happy birthday. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.